And now going back to that story of Ruth Ntlokotse's suspension, we're now joined by NUMSA spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi for a response. Phakamile, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, we've just spoken to the suspended, or rather the ousted second deputy president for NUMSA. You know, let's start here. Were all processes followed when, the disciplinary processes were instituted against her, which resulted to her expulsion?
Thank you so much, Mbali, for having me on your show, and good evening to you and good evening to your listeners. I did catch a little bit of that interview. First of all, we'd like to say as NUMSA that indeed all processes were followed in relation to expelling the expelled former second deputy president, Ruth, from the organization. She unfortunately consciously took a decision to absent herself from her disciplinary hearing, which was held in April. The chairperson of the hearing was the one who made the decision to proceed without her, given that she'd been given almost a month's notice for the hearing, number one. Number two, the union booked accommodation for her at Birchwood so that she would actually be able to participate in the hearing. And then at the 11th hour on the Friday afternoon, when the hearing is on Monday, she then sends a letter saying that she won't be attending because of a Section 189 hearing. And this is bizarre, given that NUMSA had actually obtained time off from the employer for her. So her employer was actually not even expecting her at the Section 189. And NUMSA, being the large union that it is, could have easily replaced her. So the chair did not feel that she gave compelling reasons to justify a postponement. He proceeded with the disciplinary hearing. And in that process, he found her guilty on all 3 counts of misconduct and recommended that she be expelled. Subsequent to that, in May, the NEC met and decided to uphold her expulsion on the basis of the report that was given by the independent chairperson who chaired that hearing. And on the 7th of July, the Special Central Committee, which is the only body that constitutionally has the right to hear an appeal, then heard her appeal. She was legally represented. She's lying when she says that. She was there at the hearing with her, she had a senior counsel as well as 2 attorneys. She wanted her senior counsel to present her argument. The union rejected that and said she must present her argument, but she had the right to consult her attorneys throughout, and we allowed her to do that. And after she made her submissions, the Special Central Committee deliberated and came to a decision to uphold the expulsion.
And Phakamile, she's made serious claims against you as NUMSA leaders, as well as your husband, and saying that when it comes to NUMSA, you're not acting in the best interests of its members. At the same time, she pertains to the 360 Life, saying that the leaders of NUMSA are beneficiaries, and she's saying that you all have a personal interest. She even says that you and your husband also have a business interests within the 360 Life. What do you have to say to those allegations?
Her allegations are laughable. I mean, even at the Special Central Committee, she made wild allegations, claiming that the president of NUMSA, Comrade Chirwa, that his brothers were employed by 360 Life. That's nonsense. And even that allegation that that Phakamile, myself, and my husband are benefiting from 360, again, laughable. And I want to remind your viewers that 360 Life has been under curatorship since December 2021. It's been under the guidance of the Prudential Authority. They are the ones running things at 360 Life. If any of the allegations that she's been making, and she's been making them, by the way, for over a year, were true, they would have uncovered the corruption that she claims exists between the NUMSA leadership and 360 Life. But within the duration of that entire curatorship, there has not been a single shred of evidence to back that up. On the issue of the birthday party that she keeps alluding to, I was there the day when GS came home in April. By the way, GS's birthday is in February. We were all doing work in PE. GS invited us to his home for lunch. When we all got there, and I was with him when we got there, it was one of those surprise moments. He had no idea that there was a party at his house. So the fact that that event was sponsored by 360, he knew nothing about it. And as I said to you, the entity has been under curatorship since 2021. It remains under curatorship as I speak to you now. And none of the allegations that she's made about the corrupt relationship between the leadership and the 360 Life have been found or have been proven. What is actually going on here, Mbali, is that this is a person who lost power, was roundly rejected, by the way, by NUMSA members at last year's Congress in 2022. Not a single region nominated her for her to be re-elected. And now because she's been rejected by 350,000 metal workers, she now thinks she can take power through the courts. That is undemocratic, that is autocratic, that goes against the principles of what NUMSA is about. She should accept defeat with grace.
And Phakamile, she's also calling on for a lifestyle audit to be conducted for all the NUMSA leaders. Are you willing to take upon a lifestyle audit?
Bring it on. That's my response. Bring it on. I have no problem with the lifestyle audit. My salary as an employee of NUMSA as an official is recorded. It is delivered. NUMSA members in constitutional meetings, the National Treasurer gives a report of what every single worker in the entity is earning. People know what I'm earning if you're an if you attend constitutional meetings at NUMSA. And secondly, we as NUMSA are audited by external auditors, by an external auditing firm. All our finances are also scrutinized by both SARS and the Department of Labor. So as I said to you, she has been making these allegations since last year. Every time somebody sticks a camera in her face, new allegations pop up. And to be frank, this is just a distraction from the work that we have to do. As I speak to you right now, there is a worker who was killed at a company called SA Steel Mills in Sidibeng. I should be dealing with that. I should be speaking interviews, telling the media about that. But instead, I'm sitting here justifying nonsense. Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. It's a gigantic distraction designed to drain the resources of the union. And as I said, it's an attempt to seize power through the courts when the union and its members made it very clear that they did not want her back, not only as a member, but as a leader of the organization.
And Phakamile, she now says that she is indeed taking legal advice and she will be challenging her expulsion. As NUMSA, what steps are you taking? Will you be taking any legal steps here in this regard? Because, I mean, these are very serious allegations she has laid out to the public.
You know what she's doing is she's laying the allegations out in the public so that there must be a trial by public opinion. In every single court encounter we have had with Ruth Ntlokotse, she has never produced a single shred of evidence for the allegations she makes. In fact, in many of the court papers, she doesn't even raise these issues. She raises other issues to show you that there is no evidence to back up what she's saying. What she is hoping for is that NUMSA's reputation will get trashed in the media, that people will find the leadership guilty of corruption with no evidence. And we are saying, bring it on. We are going to go to court, as we have done many times. In the last encounter we had with her, when she took us to court and tried to, on the basis of contempt of court, and tried to have the NUMSA GS and the president arrested, her application was dismissed. Her court application with Mushwana, which wrongly found that the Congress should not go ahead, is currently being appealed by the Labour Appeals Court. So as a trade union, we have nothing to hide. As I said, we are a public entity scrutinized both by the Department of Labour as well as SARS, as well as independent auditors. And on these matters, we will go to court to defend the union, to defend its decisions, and to defend its reputation.